So how are you doing?
Um,
Oh, great to hear it. You're good? Oh. Yeah, still my computer is broke, but I could just turn it on. So I just could bring this, but it's not completed. But at least we have something to see. But it's not completed. Maybe a bit later. I just only could just change the date, but the others for time ago. I don't know what is it. They said to me it needs upgrade, but I don't know still what is the problem. I couldn't turn it on. Yes, of course. Yeah, we are very important people here, very important computers, so they hacked us. Yeah, I couldn't, but today I could. Just they took it for like 2 days ago to fix it. They just took it out. We've been dealing with that for like around a week, but now 2 days ago they took it out. Now we cannot turn it on, but it still has a problem. It's very slow. It's very difficult to type something on it, so it needs upgrade. They told me just only need it. If they upgrade it, it will be okay. Shall we start? Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين وخير الناصر والمعين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. How are you doing? Again, that was another one. This is another question. Okay, for today is Islamic lifestyle, and because if we are close to the Manasik Hajj, actually it's started. It's great to speak a little bit about Hajj, and later we will speak about the adab, akhlaq, and the family. But I think this is good to speak about the Hajj. When I was like 8 years ago, I was reading the book named Sawabul A'mal, Iqabul A'mal. It's for whom? Who knows? Now I just a bit not really sure, but I think Sheikh Saduq. I think. I'm not really sure right now. Maybe I'm mistaken, but so Sawabul A'mal, Iqabul A'mal. You can check it. It has many sawab of Hajj. And what sawab does Hajj have? What rewards? And what if you go to the Hajj? But for today, we're gonna just take a little look to the Hajj and what is it? And yeah, Sheikh Saduq. Just want to be sure. Sheikh Saduq. So a little bit ahadith we'll check, not too many, but if it was interesting, and we'll continue it for the next session. For this session, we'll just take a look a little bit of Hajj and the sawab of Hajj and what is actually the Hajj. You know, the Hajj is one of the pillars of Islam, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and this is how it shows this is very important. One of it is Hajj, one of it is Salat, one of it is Zakat, one of it is Balayat, and one of it is Som. So yeah. The significance of Hajj. Hajj holds great significance in Islam as it is one of the greatest ibadah, making obligatory for every physically and financially able Muslim to perform it at least once in their lifetime. So, you know, all Muslims have to do the Hajj one time in their lifetime if they have the istita'at. So if you go to the Quran, Surah Al-Imran, sorry, I didn't bring it here because of the problem I told you before. In Surah Al-Imran, it says, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. It is mean that for every person should go to the Hajj if they have that istita'at. Istita'at, we have another ayat and the riwayat. There will be give the tafsir of this istita'at. Means everything that you can go with that. Like, for example, first thing is you have you're not a damaged person in your brain, like what is it, retarded. You're not retarded. You are just you can think by yourself. You are in like a wise person. The first one is this. The second one is you have to be in your religious age. What is it called? Bulugh. Taklif, yeah. The taklif. The another one is the financially we mentioned here. So do you have to have the money to go over there? So it will be wajib for you. So one another is have the money. And another thing is you should not be disabled. You have to have the power to go. So it has other condition that you can go over there, but this one is very important. So when you want to go through the Hajj, you should not, this is very important, that God is saying, I don't want you to ask for other people to give you money to go. You have to have the money by yourself. This is the God saying that if you are disabled, you don't need to go to the Hajj. You cannot go. For example, I'm sick, I'm at hospital. Maybe it's very difficult for me to move from the aeroplane or other things. It's difficult for me. So God says, don't need to go. But the fact is, when you want to do the salat, God says, I don't care what condition do you have to pray. You know, we have a part in salat that if you are drowning in the sea, in the ocean, in the river, doesn't matter. If it is the pray time, you have to pray. You're drowning, you're going down, you're dying at the moment, but you have to pray. You're at the same, like you saying the praying, you're coming up with your finger, you have to show it. It's a bit long, but it doesn't necessary to say it here. So you see that even you're drowning, you're dying at the moment, you have to pray. You are sleeping on your bed in the hospital, for example, you have to pray. Someone should help you with the pray. You cannot stand up, you have to sit down. You cannot sit, you have to sleep. You have to lay down. So this is the importance of the praying. You are not allowed to skip the praying at all. Someone came to the Imam Sadiq, it's Hajj, but we're just talking about the Salat. We mentioned that many times ago in lifestyle. Someone came to the Imam Sadiq and said, I've done some mistakes. Imam Sadiq was so scared of it. What have you done? You have to replace it and do some other things. And the guy said, I did that since. I said, I was scared that you have skipped your Salat al-Subh, the morning praying. He said, I was scared of that you skipped it. So you see that how important is the Salat. Even it doesn't mean that Salat is more important than the Hajj, or the Hajj is important than the others. It is saying how it is important to do the praying. It is necessary for God that you should do it. One another is the Hajj. That, you know, if you are the istita'at, you can go to the Hajj, whether you have the money, physically you are able, you're not retarded, or many other things, that you can go. And if you don't go to the Hajj, you say, okay, I want to spend my money for who? For example, poor people. Poor people is good. Spending money and giving money to them. The sadaqah. It's great. Or I want to build a hospital. Another great thing. Or maybe I just want to build a school. That's good. I want to just adopt some orphans. That's also good. But what? That's not going to replace the Hajj. You're going to answer to the God why you didn't go to the Hajj. It is either to be the physical problem or financial problem. What we mean with the physical means your brain, your body, or everything. And financial means everything also. The money, like you're not going to be poor after that, and other things. So if you have that istata'at, but you decided to not go to the Hajj, you have committed the greatest sins that you could commit it. So how is possible you're thinking, is God going to forgive me? I don't know. But you have to replace it again to go for the istata'at. When we're talking about the forgiveness, there are some places says God will forgive you, but doesn't mean that God not gonna punish you to take over the reflection of that sins or not. It's not my hand. Or like, is God going to forgive us at all? It's not in my hand. We just have to have the hope. We have a riwayat says the great person in Islam is the person who has the raja and khawf. Raja means the hope, and the khawf means what? The fear. That you have the hope that God is going to forgive me for my sins. And I'm scared that maybe God is not going to forgive me. So when I have the hope, I'll pray. When I'm scared, I'll pray more. I will ask more for forgiveness. This is the Hajj. Another thing is the pilgrimage. The pilgrimage to Mecca, the holiest city in Islam, during Hajj serves as a unifying force for Muslims worldwide, bringing together individuals from diverse backgrounds and cultures. You know, Mecca was holy city even before Islam. The Kaaba was built by Hazrat Ibrahim. It was and after, you know, it was rebuilt by Hazrat Ibrahim, not building. It was, even if it was before Hazrat Ibrahim was there, it was rebuilt by Hazrat Ibrahim. So Kaaba was very important. It was a long time ago over there, even before the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his family. And it continued after the Prophet during the time, and it will continue until the Qiyamah. The Kaaba will be over there. In some ayat of Quran says, you know, وَالتِّينَ وَالزَّيْتُونَ وَطُورِ السِّينِينَ وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ. هَذَا بَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ. Balad al-Amin is Mecca. This shows how important is this Mecca. Another one in Baqarah, رَبَّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا بَلَدًا آمِنًا وَارْزُقْ أَهْلَهُ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ مَنْ آمَنَ مِنْهُمْ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. It shows that Baladan Aminan. Whoever goes to that place, God please save them and help them, forgive them, and release the all sins. Another thing that the Prophet says when he wants to praise the khutbah, when he wants to go to the Mecca, to the Kaaba, so for the Hajj, he said, "Ma atyabaka min baladin wa ahabbaka ilayya. ولولا أن قدمي أخرجوني منك ما سكنتك غيرك." Or just put a step inside, just come to you, and you made me without any problem, without any sins. You make me fresh, a new person coming to the Hajj. This is the Mecca. Mecca is one of the greatest and important city, not just in Islam, also in the world, the holiest city. Many other things happened into the Mecca. You know, the Islam happened, the pagans happened, the kuffar, the mushrikeen was over there. They had a problem always fighting, having the battles to get that Mecca. Because if people were knowing the Kaaba for pagans, they wanted to take it for themselves, and the Muslims wanted to take it from themselves. And the Kaaba will, become the house of the God, Baytul Haram. The Baytullah al-Haram, they say, is for the God's house is over there. So people are praying to the God's house, everyone. So this is make it the holiest one. Someone came and said to me, why should people, is it correct that for what reason is it correct that people pray to that place? And why is that place? We've got that place from some reasons. One of it is from the Quran. One another that we got the Kaaba, we should pray to the Kaaba, is a hadith. Another one is history. And another one is from our families. There are 4 places that we got it. Quran, ahadith, history, and our family. Family, like, what does it mean? Like me from my father from his father, until goes back. They all said we pray to the Kaaba. We have to pray to the Kaaba. We have to do that. So we got it from 4 sources that we have to pray to the Kaaba. So if someone's come to us and says, where do you get that you should pray to the Kaaba? We got 4 sources that we can pray to the Kaaba. We should pray to the Kaaba. And when we say 5 times, is it enough? Is it more than enough? Or is it too much? What would you answer to that person for praying? Why should you pray 5 times? I think it's more than enough. What we will answer them, is it for you that what you think, or is it what the God says? But the praying that we're doing is not by myself. I didn't bring in saying that I want to pray 5 times a day. I didn't say that I have to do the wudu. I didn't say that I have to pray to the Kaaba. It's not by me. It's by the Prophet. And it's not by the Prophet himself. It's by the Prophet from Jibreel, and Jibreel from the God. So when we're doing the praying to the Kaaba, when we just accepting the Kaaba, the greatest thing in Islam, generally in Islam, when accepting Mecca as the holiest city in Islam, we accepting it from the Prophet, not from myself. It's not by me, it's by the Prophet. When you're saying, okay, what should I say in the, for example, praying to the Kaaba? Should I just say, or just I should say what I like, the way that I want to speak? Is it just you want to speak this way to the God, or is it God says this way, speak to me? This is the way you should speak to me. So what we ever say is not from ourselves. The Islam, I mentioned, I told you before, Islam is taslim, means you have to accept everything. That means you have to accept everything that God told you. Sometimes they brought some reasons. They brought a hikmat for that, but not all the reasons. We'll tell the others that this is the reason, might be 1 reason or 2 reasons. This is 1 hikmat, 2 hikmat. But we accepting that because God said it. The Prophet said it from the God. We're not accepting from ourselves. It's not what my speech, it's not something that I want to bring it out. Something that Prophet wrote it. So if we want to accept the Prophet, we mentioned in the prophethood, how we accept the Prophet. Nowadays, how we have to know that Prophet said that, there are ways to understanding. There is a knowledge called Rajal. The people study who said this. The people were going through the Prophet. That person, the son of that person, said it from that person from that person, to go to the Prophet. We would check that and we said, okay, this is, we can accept it or not. This is 1 way. Another way is that the most of ulama, the most of majority of Muslims, they are doing it. Like most of them are doing this. They accept it. So it might be have a revaya or something else. So there are 2 things that you can find it. One is just majority accept that, and they are saying and repeating that. And another one is you see the Rajal. So this is, you go back to the Islam and the other things. Okay, one another question is, why should I even pray to the God that I don't see? I don't see the God. So why should I pray? Who said it? Just a prophet? Well, what reason? I didn't see any reason, right? I didn't see any reason from the prophet. Have you seen? No, right?
God.
No. Have you seen any miracle from the prophet? Or have you seen the prophet?
Not directly.
Not directly, right? Nothing. And you haven't seen the God. You haven't seen the prophet. You haven't. Why should I accept it? Okay, for the first question that we mentioned about the God, if you see the God, this is very important, that if you see the God, it means the God is weak. God is not powerful. He's limited. You can see me, right? I'm limited. I'm sitting here, I can't be over there, so I'm limited. I'm seeing you, I can't see behind myself, means I'm limited. If God become a visible person, he will be limited. So he have to be beyond of all the creation. What is the creation? The humanity, the galaxies, every planet, everything that he created. He has to be beyond all of that. So if he becomes beyond all of that and he becomes everywhere, then he is the powerful God. He is the one who has the power. So if he become visible, he will become weak. If he has an ear, he will become weak. He can only hear two, for example, this person. If two persons speak, he would not be able to understand. Just make it, he just trained a lot, 2 person, okay, 3 person, 10 person. What about the billions people? What about the other creations? It will become weak. So another thing, he's unlimited to create all these creations. How he has to create it, he has to be beyond all of it. When you want to build something, when you want to create something, you have to be beyond all that creation. Okay, now he becomes unlimited. How a limited person can see unlimited? Impossible. So possibility is what? You see the sign of the God. You mentioned in the Islamic thought many sessions ago. So the possibility is to see the sign of God. The visible thing is the sign of the God. So we only see the sign of the God. When you see the apple, for example, this phone, this is not Apple. When you see this phone, you find out that someone made this. It's impossible that it's just made by itself. When you see me, you'll probably say that he has a parent, for example. The computer means there is someone who made this computer. So the sign of everything means there is a creator or someone who made it, something like that. So we believe in God, but it's his sign. Someone came to the Imam Sadiq and says, how can I know who is the God? How can I believe in a God? Imam Sadiq, it's just something like in Arabic, they say it's qaziyatul shakhsiyya, means it's personal thing. Imam Sadiq told him, have you been ever in the sea? He said, yes. Have you been on a sheep? He said, yes. Have that seas become stormy? He said, yes. You see that Imam Sadiq knew that what he was inside it. He was stormy. He said, yes. Were you scared of being drowning and die in that sea in the ocean? He said, yes, of course. And Imam Sadiq asked him, have you ever had anything from your inside to help? He said, yes. I just said, someone help me, please. I was like looking to the sky. Someone should have the power. I was looking for the power beyond of all of things. Imam Sadiq said, that power, that fear that you ask that person to help you, that's the God. It's inside you. So we have 2 reasons that God exists. Till now, we're going through its 3. One is what? The sign of the God. The second one is inside. The fitratul insan. Our inside says that there is a God. The third one, by the prophets, Ahlul Bayt, and the history that all accepted that there is a God. If there wasn't a God, there wouldn't be any 124,000 prophets and other people came to say that there is a God. So you will accept that there is a God. Now, how to accept the prophet? The prophet will be known as the other things that we mentioned in the previous session that we don't want to stop here. We accept that. Okay, this God says to me, to the all people, pray to the Kaaba. Just face to the Kaaba and pray there. I will accept it. Why shouldn't I accept it? Is it enough or is it more than enough? Is it, I don't know, is it cheap? Is it hard? Is it easy? Is it expensive? Is it what? Whatever, just bring all this word to your mind. It's not in my hand. Whatever God says, do it, I'll do it. I will accept it. The great exception is that you do not say anything. We will talk about it later in a moment. That Prophet, for example, said, "Ana Madinatul wa Aliyun babuha, Aliyun ma'al haqq wal haqqu ma." Ali was mentioned that ask anything from Islam that Ali ibn Abi Talib says, it is whatever I say. Like we have it, even the Khalifa first, the Khalifa second, the Khalifa third. They ask about Islam from Amir al-Mu'minin, Ali ibn Abi Talib. They ask him what Islam says here, what the Prophet said. So the great thing, even in, you see that whatever Prophet says, Ali ibn Abi Talib would say, okay, I will accept it. At the moment, if Prophet says, do not drink wine, for example, Ali ibn Abi Talib would say, okay, I will not drink wine. If the Prophet, for example, after that says, drink wine, he would drink it. Why? Because I accept the Prophet whatever says. The Prophet didn't say to drink wine, so do not get it wrong. What I'm saying is you have to accept what the Prophet says, because it's not something from himself, it's something from the God. If he says not eat pork, do not drink wine, do not go close to the alcohol, you should accept it. If he says, I don't want anything from your Muslims except loving my family and getting close to my family, you should accept it. This is the great one. What is the difference between accepting one another? For example, as I mentioned, if you say, I go to the Hajj, but I don't pray, I don't do the Salat. Well, is it acceptable? No, it's not acceptable. I pray, I do the Salat, but I don't go to the Hajj. I don't like it. I don't want to pay my money to the Saudi Arabians. No, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. So you're not able to say something like that. God says, do it, you should do it. You cannot tell God, I was thinking maybe it was better for me to not go to the Hajj. God said, I don't care about you, whatever you say. I said you should go and you should go. If you want the reward, if you want the heaven, I will give it to someone who goes to the Hajj. When I say the love of family, the muhabbat of Ahlul Bayt, you should accept it. If you stand against my Ahlul Bayt, the Ahlul Bayt of the Prophet, God said, I will punish you. When the God says, that the Prophet says, the Prophet, what he says is from the God, right? He says, you should accept it. It's two things that you have to accept. One is Kitab Allah and the second one is Atrati. This is the greatest one. So the love of the family of the Prophet, if you don't love him, if you don't love them, if you're not accepting them, it's something like saying, okay, I accept the praying, but I don't like to go to the Hajj. It's something like to say, I want to do the zakat, but I don't want to do the Sawm. I don't want to do the fasting. I like the Prophet, but I don't like the Quran. It's meaningless. Like whoever says that means like absolutely mad and out of his mind. So what we say, if you are accepting something, it's impossible to say, I don't accept that. If it is from the God, you should accept it. Okay, too much speaking. Let's go to the fourth slide. A journey. Hajj is a profound spiritual journey that symbolizes the equality of all believers before before God as they perform the ritual dressed in simple, seamless white garments. When you go into the Hajj, it's a journey. It's a journey to not just a trip or something like that. Why we were saying it is journey, because you're going to be forgiven and you're going to fresh yourself. You're going to be out of your sins and you're going to be someone, a new person. It's a great journey. This is one of the riwayat of Amir al-Mu'minin says in Bihar al-Anwar, Allah في بيت ربكم لا تخلوها ما بقيتم فإنه ترك لا تناظروا. It says God is in the Bayt al-Haram. It doesn't mean that God is inside. It means that go to the Hajj. If you want the God, you should go to the Hajj. If you just leave the Hajj, God would not look at you in his mercy. Hajj should be always crowded and the people should go there and pray. Another one that someone came to the Imam Baqir, asked about this ayah, فَفَرُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنِّي لَكُمْ مِنْهُ نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ. From this ayah, what does it mean? Imam Baqir said, Hajju ila Allah. Go to the Hajj. This means going to the Hajj. This is the فَفَرُّوا إِلَى Allah. Another one, and Mansur ibn Hazim came to the Imam Sadiq and says, قُلْتُ لأبي عبد الله ما يصنع الله بالحج. What will give God the Haji, the person who goes to the Hajj? What God will give them? Imam Sadiq says, قال مغفور والله لهم استثنى فيه. God will forgive each person individually. Everyone will be forgiven. This is the value of going to the Hajj. Another one is forgiveness. The performance of Hajj allows Muslims to emulate the action and follow in the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family, who also undertook the pilgrimage. Through the Hajj, Muslims seek forgiveness for their sins and purifications of their souls, as it believed that the pilgrimage wipes away all the past transgressions, granting them a fresh start. There was many riwayat in here that I was thinking maybe if we just have time for next session, I'll bring it, this riwayat of him for forgiveness, how much is great. Hajj Tamattu and Hajj Umrah, Hajj Wajib and Hajj Umrah. How is it important and it's great. So wherever we go is the first thing, like when you go into your family, when you go into a place that you are a guest, what is it great? To be perfect of yourself. I'm going to the residence of the president. It's better for me to be clean, dressing well, smelling good, the perfume, using the perfume, good style, and in a great way, I should go there. So they will show myself and ask them some good things. Imagine I've been in a jail, I've been in prison. I'm a bad guy. When I want to go to the president, I would look dirty. I will look not with the good clothes. And I don't have anything good looking in myself. Everything is bad. Just imagine everything is bad. Is president going to listen to me? The first thing to get to close to God is being forgiven. The way you get to close to God is being forgiven. So first thing that we want from the God is to forgive us. How to we can ask that? There are many ways. In praying, the salat, fasting, in just asking by yourself, sitting at a place and cry by yourself and asking the Tawbah. Another one is Hajj. We mentioned before that God put a path for himself to reach the God and get close to heaven and reach the greatness in the world. What is that? There's just one path. But God made a shortcut way to make it easier and closer and make it faster so you can reach God. One is the shahadat. When you die for the God, the martyrdom, when you die for God. One another is helping people to make it easier. Another one is crying in Muharram, doing the azadari or doing the veladas, all of these things for the Ahlul Bayt, for the Prophet, for his family, all of this. Valuing the Prophet and his family, these stations, will be another way to get close to God, the shortcut. Another one, what is it? It is called saying that I don't want to do it again, just regretting everything behind. Everything what happens, I'll just regret it. I don't want to do it again. This is the regret. So the greatness, if I want to just mention what is it to best, if we want to bring an ayah, a verse, we would say وَمَنْ يُعَذَّمِ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهُ مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. Sha'air Allah, what is it? It's the praying, is the Hajj, it is the Azadari. These are all because we get close to God. Why we like the Prophet? Was he like, I said, oh, he was a celebrity? No. He was a rich guy? No, I don't know anything about being rich. Was he like good looking? I'm not looking for that. He was a prophet. I love him because he was from God. I put him before anything, even my parents, because he was a prophet. So this is the reason. If I like the Ahlul Bayt, it is because God said to love Ahlul Bayt. It is not something that I like, oh, I just woke up today and I think that it's better for me to love Ahlul Bayt. It's not like that. I just accept it because God said it to me. By the riwayats, many riwayats, you can find it, the loving of Ahlul Bayt, the muhabbat of Ahlul Bayt is in Quran, it is in riwayat that all Shia and Ahlul Sunnah, all the Muslim sects believe it. The love of Ahlul. So everyone accept it. So first thing to get close to God is forgiveness. One of the greatest things that you can ask for the God for forgiveness is the Hajj. Okay, Hajj fosters a sense of humility and selflessness as pilgrims detach themselves from worldly possessions, focusing slowly on their devotion to God. The rituals of Hajj, such as circling the Kaaba and standing on the plains of Arafat, evoke a deep spiritual connection with God and a sense of awe at this power and majesty. So we will come back to this with the ritual and another one. When we said Islam came for us as a religion to the humanity, the praying and everything that we know about the Islam, is it spiritual or ritual? What is it? The Islam. The going to the Hajj, the praying, the fasting, is it spiritual or is it ritual?
Both.
It is the both. When we're talking about spiritual, the religions becoming to improve and make it more powerful, your souls, so will be spiritual. But it is going to affect also your life and everything. So it will be both spiritual and ritual. How is that possible? For example, I help someone. I give him anything, just imagine helping. So when you help someone, it is a spiritual thing, right? But it's also at the same time as a ritual. The same time as ritual. When you're praying also, is when you have a good soul, it will affect you also your life, everything. So at the same time, it will be spiritual and ritual. So in the Quran, we say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. What is the next? Wa fil akhirati hasana. At the beginning becomes the dunya, this world. If I want to have something for that world, I have to have this world. Like it says, work like the way that you think that you're gonna live forever in this world. Work and live in this world that you're gonna, this prophet Ravaya. That means that you're gonna live forever here. And pray and ask for forgiveness, that means that you are going to die even, and you're not going to see tomorrow. This is your last day. So a spiritual thing says, pray a lot. Spiritual thing says, do not forget anything. So spiritual and ritual is both same thing, are going to happen at the same time. So yeah. So when we say focusing, when you go to the Hajj, you won't find many people thinking of focusing on other things. It will be only the ibadat, the Hajj itself. Like doing the Arafat and the other things. So we're focusing on your spiritual thing that are going to affect your ritual. Another one is Hajj serves a reminder of the temporary nature of life on earth, encouraging Muslims to reflect on the purpose of their existence and their ultimate destiny in the hereafter. Because of the limitation of time, we're going to be a bit in a rush. So what we know is we're not going to live forever here. We don't have that much time. We have a very short time here. So it is better, and we'll find out that it's very temporary. It's better to have something for ourselves. When you want to fight with someone, you'll find out that you just know it's just temporary. Something is not really going to be forever. We're going to stop it. When you want to break up a relationship between our friendship or anything, between our family or other things, we'll find out that this is temporary life. You just stop it. When you go to the Hajj, also you'll find that everything is temporary. That's gonna remain and continue stay forever is God. Nothing else. No one. Like when Amir al-Mu'minin was on his bed after the Zarbat of Ibn Muljam, he was in the bed and he asked Imam Hassan to come to him. And Amir al-Mu'minin was trying to bring his hand up. Amir al-Mu'minin said he couldn't do it, just fell down his hands. Amir al-Mu'minin said, with this hand, I conquered the Khaybar. I took the door of the Khaybar. The hand that I can't even bring it up. This is the human. This is not just, we're not talking about the soul of Amir al-Mu'minin or other things that if he could even rescue himself or other things. No, just the human body. This human body, even of Amir al-Mu'minin, even the Prophet is going to die. It's not going to continue. It's not going to stay. So you'll see even the Amir al-Mu'minin, the greatest person of an Islam story, you say like, Prophet says the two great things, I will say the sword of Amir al-Mu'minin and the servant of Khadija, the money of the Khadija. The greatest warrior in Islam is now in a bed and cannot move his hand. So we'll find out what it will remain, what it will stay. It's only the God, not the Prophet, not his family. Nobody. So if the Prophet's gonna die, and he died, he passed away, the shahada of that, we'll find out that I'm going to die as well. When you go into the Medina, you see the Baqi, you see the Prophet's holy shrine, you'll find out that everyone's going to die. Everyone's going to leave this world. It's not only me. So even I'm going to die. So better for me to focus and know the spiritual things and just imagine that if I'm going to go to another world, I have to take something from here to that place. That's about that. Another one is, what time is it? The gathering of millions of Muslims during Hajj demonstrates the strength and vitality of the global Islamic community, reinforcing a sense of identity, belonging, and solidarity. Hajj promotes cultural exchange and understanding as Muslims from different nations and backgrounds interact, fostering a spirit of tolerance, respect, and unity among diverse communities. The greatest one of the thing about this Hajj is gathering. The Muslims become united, unifying the Islam all together. It's the greatest one. You know, during the Islam history, all the things that Prophet, Amir al-Mu'minin, all of them, they tried was what? To bring all the Islam together. He was the advice to whom? To the Caliph first, to the Caliph second, to Caliph third. For what reason? Because he wanted the Islam be united. If Islam become like collapsed or like splitted to the other parts, will be destroyed. Nothing will be continued. So the Islam should be united. This is one of the greatest things that's going to happen in the Hajj. Why? Because you'll see that the Muslims from the other sects coming over there, they're praying to the Kaaba, they have the same book, they believe in the same prophets, same God, same Qibla, and the Salat. So this is the great one, that it is great that all Muslims become together and respect each other, and having the tolerance if someone is not really thinking in your way. I don't want to step here for a long time. Another one is the physical challenges and hardship faced during Hajj, such as the long journey, crowded conditions, and rigorous rituals help build endurance and perseverance, strengthen one's faith. Another one is, we are almost out of the time, so probably it's going to be the last one. The great one is just stepping to the Hajj. I just want to bring a riwayah of the Prophet. Prophet in one of the khutbah, I think one of his khutbah, when he wanted to go to the Hajj, he said this, that each step you're taking to go to the Hajj from your house, it's going to give you 100,000 hasana. When he says thousand means too much. It doesn't mean exact the number. It means it's too much. 100,000, how much it will be? This will be unlimited. Who knows? But the number will be how much? It will be 100 million, right? It means 100 million hasana. And it will be took away thousand sins, like 1,000,000 sins that you have committed. Will take it over from you. And it will bring you up thousand darajah, the level up. Thousand means 1,000,000 level will go up. And for each dirham, you know, was it the money over there, the currency over there, for each dirham you spend, you get thousand dirham back from the God. And for each dinar was a currency level up. The dirham was, at the moment, was like silver, and the dinar was, let's say, gold. For each the dinar that you spend, you're going to be thousand dinars going to give you back to God. 1,000,000 dinar, we'll say. And for each hasana you do, you commit any hasana. For example, any hasana you imagine, praying, giving money to other people, helping other people. Imagine everything that you do. It will be thousand hasana again back to you. But if you go to the God in the way to the Hajj or in the Hajj, you go to the God, you die, means you die. You're going to the heaven. This is the wajib to the God. But God will send you to the heaven. But if you go back to your house, you'll be fresh, you'll be over all of your sins. Nothing will be anything on you. So you have no sins, and all your prayer will be mustajab. Whatever you pray, God will accept it. Oh, whatever, in this world or another world, God will accept it. So this is the stepping. What time is it? So this is the stepping. We're gonna finish it right now. So this was for each step. You know what? This is like from here to that place is just one step. Like this one is just one step. Like, you know, the man was walking. 1 feet goes in front, will be one step. You see how Hassan and how God is going to give you the great things, but with one step. So this is enough for today. Maybe we'll continue the Hajj for the next session. It's a little bit left. We'll speak a little bit about Hajj, and we're gonna probably, if we finish the Hajj, we're gonna have another topic for next session. So it's enough for today. We have an opportunity. Okay, it's enough. So thank you very much for coming for this class. Just almost out of the time. If anyone has a question, I'll be glad to hear the questions from here, from the Zoom, anyone. Yeah.
So Hajj is something that is beautiful for Muslims who believe in God. My question is that is the how about if someone did not make it to the Hajj because challenges he's facing on his homeland, for example, and despite the pandemic, how can they endure?
Going to the Hajj, it is says that only you can go. It will be wajib on you. You have to do it if you have the istita'at. Istita'at is everything. Like you have the money, you'll be able to go by yourself, and also you don't have any problem. For example, there is a war in Mecca. It's impossible. You cannot go there. It's not safe. Maybe it's during the pandemic. They're not allowing you to go there. You're not allowed to go. How can I go? It's impossible. So it should be possible, and you have the istita'at to go. So for example, there is some people of escaping. There is a war, for example, in some African country, imagine. They are escaping from their lands to another lands. How they can go to the Hajj? It's impossible for them. There is no airport in their country. How they can go? It's not impossible. They don't have enough money to go to another country and go from there to Hajj. It's impossible for them. So we were just only talking about the possibility. If the possibility happens, and also you have the istita'at, that's the way that you go to the Hajj. Was it enough? Or one time was like we had a school. It was about Islamic thought as well, and the teacher was teaching it. It was about philosophy things and other things, and he said, "I'm gonna ask you the question what I said." And he was looking. I said, "I want to see whose head is down, so who wants to escape the answering the question. I'm gonna ask that person." Everyone just put their head down. Everyone did it. So none of them just brought it up. One person brought it up to say that, no, not me. And the teacher said, "Okay, you have to answer that question." I was like, no, not me. Or like, now I was just gonna say, who has the question? Everyone's just going down. I don't know what have you written on your like your papers that everyone's just looking. What is it? Okay, so we don't have any question.
The further question is that if Hajj is symbolizes the unity of the Muslims, so why are there many opinions about doing the Hajj itself? For example, in Indonesia, there is something like Arba'in Salat. You do the prayer for 40 times in subsequent time, in the same time. Why there are so many differences?
The opinion, the Hajj is not going to bring your opinion and your thoughts together. It's going to make the Islam united by not being something against the others. For example, like cultures, right? We have many cultures, but being in a family doesn't mean that you have to have a same culture that your father has. Or for example, politicians' thoughts. For example, you like, I don't know, just saying Donald Trump, your father likes Joe Biden. You like UK, your father likes, for example, Germany. So this is something that even become a family, it's not mean that you're gonna have to fight with your father. It's not gonna the Hajj bringing all the thoughts together, all the opinions together. It's only making them to respect each other, having the tolerance, because of believing in the things that we have all in common, that is the God, the onenesses of the God, the holy book that we all believe in is the holiest book in the Islam. The holiest city that we all believe is in Mecca, the prophet, that we all believe in same prophet, the salat and the fasting and all of this, and also we loving the Ahlul Bayt. All of this is a similarity that all Islamic sects, they have it. So with this flag of similarity, we can be together. For example, when you're going to the war, like imagine 100 or 1,000 years ago, they were all in other nations. So when they want to go to battle, they become united. There might be like different colors even, like black, white, yellow. I don't know. But they become united to stand against the other people, right? To just what a flag, just to defend themselves, to become united. I just want to say, no, there is nothing that Islam should fight against. What I'm saying is becoming united. It doesn't need to have the same opinion. Like the family, you might have a different opinion with your father, your mother, your brother, with your siblings, with the other families. But you are living with your family. You are, for example, sleeping, waking up with them. This is the being united. United is not being having the same opinion. That's quite impossible. Just imagine a two man having the same opinion. That's quite like impossible. Now imagine in a religion. Yeah, I'm not saying that what Islam's right now. I don't want to talk that what Islam says or what is the true, what is not true. But as we believe in that, who says Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah is Muslim. So when they believe in these things that I said, and we have the similarity, it's better to become like a family instead of fighting each other. Fighting each other will be destroy each other. What is the purpose? We talk about it in the being patient. We said one of the things that you say for being patient is saying, what is the purpose of doing that? What am I going to reach? This is it. But Hajj is not going to bring the opinion or the thoughts together. It's going to bring ourselves together, the friendship together. Like you might have a friend that is Christian. You might have a friend that is, for example, non-believer. You might have a friend that is Jews. But how are you going to fight them? No. But it's a great friendship is being the Muslims. Many similarities. Being closer. So you don't have a similar thought or opinion with your friends. In this room, all of us have a different thoughts about many other topics. Like when I'm bringing this topic, I just only bring it on the riwayat and ayat to say to not debate it. Because if I just want to bring my thoughts, maybe Mr. Eddie would say, no, I don't believe in this. We should debate. What I would say is that when we have the similarity, it's better become together and united. Like when we have many similarity with my family, why should I leave them? For example, my father says, maybe decorate this place in this way. I said, no, I don't want to, I want to decorate it in the other way. And after that, I said, because my father and I don't have the same opinion, I should leave my father. It makes no sense. I'm not saying the religion is decorating or something like that. What I'm saying is the similarity can bring Islam together. One of those similarities is Hajj. Hajj can bring Muslims together, as you can see. The Shia goes to the Hajj, Ahl Sunnah goes to the Hajj, and the other sects of Ahl Sunnah and Shia goes to the Hajj. They pray, they are together with the friendship. Okay, if your question has a
Something like the
oh yeah. Does it have any other question of that? Any other question? Yeah.
I want to ask about Hajar Aswad. Is there using Hajar Aswad is highly recommended or
Yeah, it is.
yeah?
Yeah, in riwayas we have to kiss it or take your hand on that. Yeah.
Very much to get there.
It's not wajib, so you don't have any. Yeah, you don't need to like kill each other to get reach to that. Yeah.
Another question. What about the Rukn al-Yamani,
What about that?
Yemeni corner, the one where there's the crack in the Kaaba for Fatima bint Asad?
Yeah.
Is that also highly recommended to?
It is all the Kaaba and all the things over there. It's recommended. It's highly recommended. To get close to that, even the the curtains of the Kaaba is just made by ourselves. But it's great. It's mentioned in the riwayah to just grab it. It's good. But it doesn't mean that you have to reach that place. Or if I don't do it, it means I didn't do the Hajj. Like some people, they go to Imam Reza, especially in Iran, it's very highly that if they don't reach the Zari, means that they didn't do any of the ziyarat. So they just fight each other to get reach to the Zari. And like you see that someone is going above them on the shoulders, like, oh, someone's coming on the head and just grabbing the Zari. Yeah. So it doesn't mean like that you have absolutely to reach it, but it is good and it's highly recommended to take hand wiping and like kissing, all is recommended, especially the Hajar al-Aswad.
Is it true that Hajar Aswad used to be white?
What was it? What?
Hajar Aswad used to be white because of human sins, they become black.
It is said, but right now I'm not sure about that in the riwayat. But in my belief, it was like that. But I should check it again to see in the riwayat again. Not sure. I'm not going to say it 100%, but next time I'll tell you.
Is it true that the grave of Hajar and Prophet Ismail was buried in front of the Kaaba?
It is said, yeah. The place that is like half circle. Yeah, it's Ismail. They have many. How many? I'm not really sure about the numbers of the prophets. There are many prophets over there.
It's all buried there.
Yeah, the
The same location.
Yeah, the many in the Hajj Ismail.
So it cannot be.
It is like very
Forbidden.
mustahab to pray over there.
Oh, stuff.
Yeah.
Is it the Hajj already established during the reign of Prophet Abraham?
Yeah, they had it, the Hajj and doing some praying over there, but it was like saying completed, becoming with the rule, with like the conditions and the other things was with the prophets.
So it's obligatory also
Yeah.
to Bani Israel also
Yeah,
to visit. Okay.
it was, yeah. Any other questions?
How about using perfume for a woman? I thought a woman forbid to use perfume.
Yeah.
I heard that it same with men. When people smell your perfume, it means you do zina. Is it true?
The man,
Yeah, I heard.
the man in
It's goes same with women when he use perfume.
like in a normal life or in Hajj only?
You know, my life and Hajj.
No, normal life, no, we don't have that. But in normal life, no, it's just very recommended to use the perfume for women, for those maharim, and for women, for maharim, it is recommended. But for men also, it's recommended to use the perfume. Even the Prophet said it's better to spend most of your money on perfume, to use the best perfume. Smell good, like you go see some people buying some perfumes, it smell absolutely, if you smell even stink is better than using that perfume. Like some people think it's Islamic to smell like some perfume that, you know, that everyone, that those who are going to be greater, they said they call themselves or stars, to use some perfumes that I just rather it's not like going to gym, coming out stinky, that's better for me than that perfumes. Okay, we think we're done, right? We're going to continue the Hajj because still we have some slides and we didn't finish it. For the next session, probably the Hajj will be finished for the next session, and maybe we're going to have another topic for the next session as well. So thank you for coming for this session, and hope you're going to have a very good weekend for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And don't forget me your prayers, and I'll pray for you as well. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.